Hey, you guys can't tell, but my toque matches the desktop colors. It's kind of snowing outside. It's cold, and it's getting worrisome to live among the people primates as a skilled worker who refuses domestication. But I want to let you know what it's like being me, and so I'll kind of let you know what I did here. So I believe it was yesterday. Was it yesterday, November 30th? When I see that there was a school district that had multiple postings, and sometimes there's like two part-time that would fit together, then I'll contact them directly because they don't specifically, let's say, require the BC teacher certificate for those ones, like a bus driver, for example, and something else. So I wrote hello and school district number, and I sent it to three people that are either HR related or that are either a general HR email or specific people working in HR that are in charge. And I say, please forward this email and its attachments to the appropriate individuals. The two positions listed in the subject line above demonstrates some of the need for workers that you may currently be faced with, and those do fit me well, as based on the various documents that I have already posted in the activities section of my own LinkedIn profile. I started LinkedIn again recently, a few months ago, I think, and it's because somebody advised me, somebody that also doesn't know what to do when meeting an Homo sapien, and they don't want to deviate from their domesticated norms. So, but again, it's not something that professionals use efficiently. LinkedIn, it's still kind of an annoying spam related thing. If you put let's say learning specialist in there, you'll get all sorts of job things come up, which it's not at all related to how I define it, and it's related to greed and profit in other industries that have kind of words that are similar, and they just throw them out there, right? Selling the image to try to get people to do things, let's say for commissions or in sales. Okay, so I said, note that I have had 3 COVID-19 vaccines so far, and that I have already had this year's annual flu shot as well. My recent RCMP, criminal record check, and also my ICBC driver's abstract are both already loaded onto my online profile linked above. I have worked, and I tell people it's the activities section where they can find it, because even if they've been on LinkedIn for a while, they might not know to scroll down all of my activities to see all these PDF documents or pictures. I have worked with learners of all ages, and I have been in various leadership roles within schools in the past as well. My passion would be to also teach my own specialties to other educators, such as during Pro D days. My training, work experiences rank as equal or exceeding. That's the first time I say equal instead of exceeding, because I wanted to tone down what people consider arrogant. But when you say this, you need to be able to guarantee it and role model it and be tested on it and observed and do it publicly. And that's what I offer, right? So that somebody that does that, I would take them a lot more seriously than somebody who just says, I have this certificate, so don't bother evaluating me because you don't need to. Those of ECE or teacher certifications as required through other training and work experiences from my past, especially if measured through progress achieved with the learners. However, with the proper collaborative, innovative approach with an employer or school district, I would accept gaining such equivalencies, which demeans me, but I'm willing to compromise in some way. I am currently in Castlegar waiting for a radiator to arrive for my modest motorhome. Very modest. If people see what it's like in there and how I only right now have access to heating at night. During the day, it's not good for my electronics in there, for one thing. It's pretty cold, and I can't warm it up with the engine because fumes come in from multiple leaks in exhaust system. Therefore, I would have to open windows, or kill brain cells, so therefore I can't heat that way. And the heating at night is just temporary until my radiator is repaired. Then, I don't know. And then I am ready to relocate anywhere which provides me with a work contract that suits my own various skill sets. And if you don't want your human rights violated, you must be able to sign a contract and be part of the negotiation. Unions don't allow this, so they're not protecting your rights as workers. My repairs are scheduled for Monday, and I could also leave my motorhome in these parts if you provided housing as part of an incentive for attracting skilled workers. Hint, hint, it's not a bad idea to invest in attracting skilled workers. So the response was, "Hi Martin, thank you for your interest in our school district. Are you applying for a teacher position, and are you certified to teach in Canada?" Okay, this sounds very much like an issue with reading comprehension on this person's part, and also they are very much within a domestication mindset, therefore not using their brain's higher functions. So don't expect reading comprehension, right? We require a cover letter, resume, as well as a copy of your teaching license. Upon receiving these documents, I would be happy to set up an interview with you. So again, if I had these documents, they would have been probably on LinkedIn, but it takes efforts, right? It takes like going to see it instead of just receiving it in the way they like, and often they don't like the way I do my resume. So again, remember the title of this was Learning Specialist, also with Class 4 driver's license, seeking employment relocation. Okay, that's the title of my first email of me reaching out to them. And again, I filmed a little vlog this morning where I'm just tired of getting these kind of responses. But I wanted to kind of share feelings to see, hey, is this person maybe compassionate to what a learning specialist with experience in a failing culture of education? Let's see. So I say her name, then I say, "I must admit my frustration to you, frustration and sadness about the state of the human condition. I seem to be getting a lot of responses like these in BC, and frankly, they are breaking my heart. Aren't there anyone else other than myself who are advocating for learners and for the learning process in general? The situation has been getting worse since I wrote this letter to BC years ago." And then I include the attachment of what I wrote to BC many years ago, which is my fear of what's been developing in the education cultures of BC, which of course has been proven accurate as a prediction based on my theory and based on what is happening now. I make efforts to introduce myself as a learning specialist, a profession that does not exist here, but that I define clearly and which is desperately needed in Canada. However, the responses that I keep getting are the same as yours, proving that learning specialists are indeed as required for working alongside HR admin and teaching personnel than for working with the younger learners. If I were to grade the responses of those that help shape educational structures in Canada, the results would be, well, you do not want to know. Then I do an unhappy face. Needless to say, that a lot of parents, now seniors, would be called in to have serious discussions with someone of my unique specialties about their own adult children. Like teaching personnel and HR and admin and stuff. So I am a learning specialist with skill sets that fit and have been placed in positions prior, many different roles and levels in education and in different parts of the world. I also leave you with my own guaranteed definition of what I am offering as a learning specialist at this time. I don't know if I've ever had anybody kind of respond to actually that short definition. It's short. I mean, it's kind of a paragraph that's not even a page. It's maybe half a page. So if nobody responds within, as principals or whatever, or HR personnel, you can tell their domestication is high. Like don't expect human level thinking for something like that. And I'll read it in a vlog soon what my definition is. And you might consider it arrogant, people. But I tell you, if you would prefer people that act like this to be responsible for the education of your kids instead of somebody who guarantees what I guarantee as my definition, and who says, test me, challenge me on it, observe me, videotape me, and then put me, in a thesis debate about it or whatever you want to do, and you will see, this is me walking the talk. This is what you need. Not selling the image of education instead. Okay, so my own guaranteed definition of what I am offering as a learning specialist at this time, which I hope you agree would be very useful to any school district. And of course, I make a prediction like I did when I fired my university faculty in the 26-page letter that is thesis level. It will now be up to you to respond by showing if you are pro-domestication or pro-education, two very incompatible concepts. Thank you very kindly. And folks, when you get to thank you very kindly, you've already pretty much screwed up. Professor Marty. Now the final response was from this person. Hi, Martin. I'm sorry you feel this way. Now she can't even name the feeling. And it's a very generic thing, because when you say this and then you suddenly change the subject after, yeah, there's no altruism or compassion or sentience, right? I'm sorry you feel this way is very, very easy to say. And somebody will not succeed as a counselor if this is how much emotional intelligence or the ability to reflect emotion that they have as adults, right? However, we do still require a recent copy of a resume with cover letter and proof of teaching credentials before moving forward with an interview process. Looking forward to receiving these documents from you. Regards. Okay, so, well, do you think this is pro-education or pro-domestication related response based on what I read? Now, of course, I would usually just say pro-domestication it is, kind of response, and that'd be it. But I'm not even going to go there. I mean, if it helps me vent a little bit in defense of the every child matter kind of concept. But again, it just burns a bit more bridges. So I'm going to leave it at that. And that's kind of what's happening in BC, and it's getting worse. And it's up to you if you want to care about that. But again, I can't expect you to think that I'm going to give you. Please don't think I'm going to give you respect as either parents or teachers if these are still not conversations that you want to partake in. If that's okay with you, okay? For me to have that choice.